What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Implants and their Olden Age EP 2016. Once again, shout out to Paulie. And the next tune is The System. Obviously, there are many punk songs by bands from different eras, but certainly if you listen to a lot of like 80s dissident type punk, the Subhumans, I forget, in the moment I'm forgetting what song it is. It's No, which is a crazy song just in general, and it's sort of a, Dick Lucas presenting his worldview and the justification for it. But there's a part where he's like, I don't like this and I don't like that, and yes, I don't like your fucking system. And I love the way it's sort of like, it's almost like a joke that he's like, he's referencing specific aspects of politics and culture and society that are worthy of critique. And then it's like, yes, and I reject your fucking system. Because it feels like it's part of a dialogue, like an implied question. Oh, so it's the system that you'd like, yes, I reject your fucking system. So I feel like this might be in a similar territory. I did want to once again give a shout out to Paulie for mentioning to me, and I remember looking on Discogs, but that this is sort of like a punk rock supergroup. It features people who are in other bands throughout the punk rock world. So in any case, let's hear it. This is The System by The Implants. Whoop. On their Olden Age EP 2016, and again the lyrics are in there, although they're not so easy to read as we've learned, but I will check afterward. And is this, yeah, okay, so this is The System by The Implants. After the last track fades out. Okay. Sounds a little like No Effect.
There's opportunity for you if you possess the skill it takes. But when the system designates the standards and a your race, if you're too slow to follow through, the world has used for more takes take that down. But it's what the system wants, and it's how the system thrives. Weed out the slow ones, and who cares how they're survive? Equal ambition doesn't equal out the same. I thought I wasn't here. We want them quick and give them more. Take away the dummy class, push the poverty up their ass. One might say this is the herd. We can't fight to stay alive, so the stronger will survive. Help me work out all this mess. I know excuses I give fast, but you don't seem to hear these words I'm screaming. Is anybody out there not judging what I'm good for? Or I guess I'm good for nothing.
I didn't catch everything there. Again, I'll look in a minute, but what I did catch sounds like what I was thinking. Essentially, that is someone saying that, you know, the system tries to force them into different boxes or make them live a certain way, and perhaps that doesn't work, and so over time they've come to the realization that they have to find their own way, and they're not just going to simply, you know, fall in line in that regard, which again, it's a sort of classic punk ethos and, you know, sort of sentiment for punk lyrics. And, you know, obviously, like, the specific nuances of the critique will vary depending on, you know, the band as well as the country they live in, or, you know, the country being addressed and so on, or, you know, whether in some cases it's more about similar motifs and tropes in different places. But yeah, it feels like it's in that tradition, though again, maybe even more specific in terms of the personal narrative maybe being more significant than the particular cultural critiques. Where are you, Luca? There you are. What are you doing? Where'd you come from? I didn't even know she was down there. But yeah, let me look at the lyrics very quickly, as she's probably going to turn around and jump on my lap. Oh yeah, she's coming. Is that? Yep. Yep, there we are. Well, you've chosen a poor time to do this, but let's see what we got here. So the system can make a winner too, can make you a winner too. That's hilarious. So again, right at the bottom, it's all like dark, as if it's been, you know, stained by time. There's opportunity for you if you possess the skill it takes for when, what is that? The system designates the rules. The system continued. Okay, so as if it was a newspaper. The standard set a 12-year race. If you're too slow to follow through, the world has use for more ditch diggers too. So 12-year race sounds like a reference to school. Generally speaking, like public school, certainly in the US and I think other places as well, like in Europe, there's 12 grades, like 6 primary school grades, and then for me it was 2 junior high grades and then 4 high school grades. I think some places now it's like junior high is 3 years and then high school is 3 years, so it will probably vary in different places. But again, 12 years seems like a reference to school, and the idea that if you get to the end of it and you haven't really gone through it the way you're supposed to, or particularly well, if you haven't demonstrated your academic skills, well, don't worry. We got a need for ditch diggers and people who do manual labor for like ridiculously small compensation. If you're too slow to follow through, the world has use for more ditch diggers too. But it's about what the system wants. And it's how the systems try. Weed out the slow ones, and who cares how they'll survive. Equal ambition doesn't equal out the same. I thought I was to blame. So again, like, you can try hard, but depending on your station, depending where you enter the social, cultural, and political pyramid of life, you may end up having the same ambition as somebody else, but less mobility, less possibility to improve your station, whereas other people might have come into a situation where they have advantages and benefits that ultimately people in different places in that larger pyramid don't. So the guy saying, I thought it was my fault. I thought I wasn't, you know, doing things right or trying hard enough. It turns out like the system wasn't made for people like me or people on the level that I'm on. You're so funny, Luca. Reward the quick and give them more. Take away the dummy class, I heard that, and shove poverty up their ass. One might say it thins the herd. We claw and scratch to stay alive, so the stronger... Yeah, so it's like, oh, well, you know, if people are struggling to survive, it's not the worst thing, you know? The people who do survive, that's the kind of rabble we want. A thrifty, tidy working class, not, you know, people who don't have ambition or can't, you know, finish school properly. It feels sort of like that, a sarcastic reference to that attitude. Help me work out all this mess. I know it's useless, I confess. But you don't seem to hear these words I'm screaming. Obviously I heard that, and, you know, punk rock lyric of that type is clever. Is anybody out there not sure what I'm good for? I guess I'm good for nothing. And again, if, like, the system doesn't, you know, work for you the way it does for others, which reminds me of an album their system doesn't work for you. Nevertheless, yeah, if it doesn't, and you end up, sort of at a place where there's no clear, like, oh, I don't have the obvious job that's going to make me a lot of money, or at least make enough money to survive comfortably and, pursue any interest I may have and so on, then I guess it's me. Like, I guess I'm good for nothing. Like, I thought I was, I had, again, skills or ambition and so on, but here I am at the end of that 12-year process and so on, and, there's nothing for me, so I guess I'm good for nothing. And then I tried to struggle through, they said, roughly, it says said I wouldn't do, but presumably that's a, sort of shorthand version of the system, or the people who run it said I wouldn't do. Couldn't keep up the pace, so I followed. No matter how hard I try, wouldn't see eye to eye, still found a way to live by my own way, or live by my own rules. So yeah, again, it feels very much like, the Subhumans track that I referenced, but not as intense and dire and severe. More like, hey man, like, I'm trying to find my way, and ultimately, I thought this was my fault, and I thought, like, I must not be doing things right and whatever. Now I realize is that the system, it works for very few people, and, it'll put you in a position where it feels like you have very little worth, or even no worth at all. But you know what? I've realized that I just need to chart my own path. So yeah, it's in the classic punk rock tradition of critiquing society and indeed the system, but like I said, perhaps a bit more personal. So I feel like my intuitive sense of what the lyrics were was pretty much on point, even to some of the specifics I didn't catch until the read along. In any case, shout out to Luca, and Luca, at this point, I'm just gonna... No? Are you gonna go down there? Okay, well, she's gonna go down there. In any case, from her and I, big shout out to Paulie once again. Do let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.